Itakuwa kwanza ni kuhusiana na mali zao walitumia vipi, neema yao walitumia vipi, mida pia muda wao ama umri wao pia walitumia vipi.
Kwa hiyo ndugu zangu Waislamu, Allah alitutoa kwenye tumbo za mama zetu tukiwa hatuna nguo, akaja akatufundisha namna ya kuvaa nguo. Kiwa unapendeza, utapendeza hata kama umevaa barangeti. Watu watakutafuta ndani ya barangeti, wakutafuta huyu, kumbe ni mzuri.
그 여자 영어만 써. 그리고 키가 크고 얼굴이 예뻐.
시대의 사기꾼 정인수. 수식어 한번 좋다.
저기 정수야!
There is no wealth without health, and it all begins here. And regular exercise. Your Health Show brings you an array of health information to keep you informed and healthy. Real people and real stories.
Kurasa wa wadi baada ya siku 2-3 nikapelekwa theater. Wakasema wametoa nyama upande wa nyuma. Walipopima hiyo nyama walipata ni kansa.
Nasema wewe rafiki yangu sasa kwa huo umri ulio uko nao kama hivi unafanya na mama fumbo wewe. Uliyapata wapi wewe? Na mimi namwambia mimi mwenyewe pia mimi nashangaa.
Join me, Marie Yambo, from the laboratories to the theaters as we feature cutting-edge technology in healthcare diagnosis and treatment. Only on KBC Channel 1.
Good afternoon. This is Lunchtime News. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon here on Lunchtime News. My name is Jackie Wambiru. Our sign language interpreter is Brian Muraru. Now we have a comprehensive bulletin lined up this afternoon, and to kick us off, the government of Uganda has released 3 Kenyan fishermen who were detained in the country 2.5 years ago for committing aggravated robbery. Busia County Commissioner Kipchumba Ruto and his Ugandan counterpart Deborah Mugerwa noted the release of the 3 was a result of cooperation between the 2 governments that aims at fostering good relationships within East African countries. The 3, George Onyango, Patrick Juma and David Ouma, expressed their happiness after returning home from custody.
We have tasked the Kenyan Coast Guard and the Ugandan Fish Protection Unit to be dealing with small matters, small claims, small complaints on the waters of the Lake Victoria, so that our people can enjoy the economic activity opportunities given by the lake. Them, with the Ugandans, to be released. These are small, we call them in law misdemeanors, small offenses, and minor offenses, and they are normally sorted out by the officers at Lake Victoria. But now, like this case, they were in jails in the High Court in Uganda, and they have been there for 3 years. We had to intervene.
Si kesi yenye tukua tunafanya, sisi ni wavuvi, tunavua, na tunajua Lake Victoria imeshika inchi 3, Tanzania, Uganda na Kenya. Sasa sisi tulikuwa kwa maji ya Kenya, Waganda wakatushika wakatupeleka Uganda kwao, wakatutiaka eti sisi ni wezi wa engine.
Nyumba yangu ilianguka, nilikuwa nimeacha bibi kwa nyumba ya nini ya kapera. Sasa sijui yuko ama yuko, sijafika nyumbani. Nyumba yangu ilienda. Naomba serikali kama inaweza nisaidia, iniangalie, nisaidie, hata sijui nitaanzia wapi. Vitu yangu yote ilienda na maji.
Serikali yangu ya Kenya kama inaweza tukumbuka, sisi tuko na familia, tuko na watoto wanaenda shule. Sisi pia tunataka tukule. Naomba tu kama inaweza tusaidia vile tunaweza anza maisha.
They had committed aggravated robbery, and today we handed over even the engine according to the file we had in Uganda. But we have agreed to really drop the charges through the DPPs, and now they are now free people. They can enjoy their life outside prison.
In other news, more than 500 families have been affected in the fresh border row at the Kitui-Tana River border. The latest dispute ensued after the Kitui County Administration demolished Kalalani Primary School, leaving 300 learners without classrooms. In retaliation, Tana River residents invaded the construction site of a police station and burnt to ashes building materials worth thousands of shillings. Tana River County Commissioner Mohamed Noor and his counterpart from Kitui, Erastus Mboye, have called on the residents to allow for the construction of the station as it is in their interest. So far, 12 people have lost their lives because of the dispute.
Watu pande yangu pengine watafurahia, wanafikiria hii ni mambo kwa mpaka. Wakati hatuamui mpaka. Hiyo sio jukumu letu kama watu wa National Government Administration. Kuamua mpaka ni wapi. Kuna ile Independent Electoral Body, wale wana handle boundaries za county. Hiyo ni jukumu lao. Sisi tunakuja tu kuona hii mradi imefanikia na itakuwa project ya Kenya Police Service, National Police Service, iweze kusaidia wakazi wa hapa.
Dozens of persons living with disability in Juja, Kiambu County are being trained in the acquisition of hands-on skills to enable them to create employment. In a 2-month program run by a local manufacturing company, the group is being trained on branding, marketing and manufacturing of khaki bags. The training will first focus on team leaders who will then transfer the skills to group members.
Nikiomba serikali tuwape mkopo, na kwa sababu wanapewa mikopo direct kununua the raw material, inamaanisha hakuna pali watakuwa misuse funds. So hizo grants zawasaidia, the soft loan itawasaidia wapate raw material, the tool of trades, waanze biashara.
We would like so much to ask the government to create us an opportunity and try us, even if it is about giving us loan. They will offer us with loans and we will pay back after implementing what we've been taught. Automatically we are going to give the money back to the government.
Watu wenye wako na ulemavu wakipewa chance, hakuna chenye hawezi fanya. Wamesoma kama hapa sasa tumesoma, tutaweza kujiendelesha kimaisha.
Kenya Urban Roads Authority, in collaboration with Kenya Forest Service, today planted over 300 tree seedlings at Yathrib Secondary Compound in Garissa County as part of the national government initiative to increase its forest cover to 30% by 2032. The exercise will be rolled out in several schools ahead of anticipated El Nino rains to ensure that seedlings planted are sustained. Garissa County has at least 4 nurseries and 27,000 seedlings were ready for planting in the region.
Our target is 900 trees by the end of the year. We are going to plant more trees in Wajir County and also in Mandera County.
The mission is to advocate for tree growing, not planting, tree growing, to plant and take care of the trees. And for the school, it's my request that each and every student or pupil for the primary school to adopt a tree, so that each and every morning the student or pupil will be responsible for watering that tree until it matures. We are actually struggling to make Kenya green, and it's a commitment, everybody's commitment as a Kenyan.
On health matters, the county government of Kilifi says plans to allocate 2 billion shillings to the county's health sector this fiscal year plans to allocate the 2 billion shillings to the county health sector this fiscal year. Speaking at the Malindi Sub-County Hospital, Governor Gideon Mungaro said the provision of quality healthcare services remains a core mandate of his administration. He made the remarks when he commissioned a modern ambulance, a modern kitchen, two renovated and equipped wards, and a civil servants clinic at the facility.
Jumla ya bajeti ya hospitali ya mwaka huu ni bilioni 2.6 ili kuboresha vifaa na madawa katika hospitali zetu. Tumeanza mikakati ya kuanzisha matumizi ya teknolojia katika hospitali zetu. Katika kuhudumia wagonjwa, tayari wafanyikazi wanapatiwa mafunzo ya mfumo wa kielektroniki wa kuchukua rekodi za wagonjwa wetu.
Tunafurahi County Assembly na Governor umetupatia fedha mwaka huu na tutaweza kuanza kuongeza wafanyakazi.
So kazi yetu leo sisi kama Aga Khan Health Services ilikuwa kidogo sana leo ya kufanya donation ya mobile clinic. Mmeona bwana governor akizindua hiyo. It's worth 20 million Kenya shillings na itakuwa inaenda mashinani pale kusaidia wananchi kupata chanjo na kazi zingine zinazohusiana na health.
Still on health matters, Kiambu County government is constructing 13 new level 3 hospitals in various county wards at a cost of 650 million shillings. Governor Kimani Wamatangi says the initiative will improve healthcare services and bring them closer to the people. Wamatangi said his administration is in the process of completing 4 level 4 hospitals in Githunguri, Lari, Bibirioni and Thogoto.
Kina mama wa Kiamumbi watakuwa wanakuja hapa ni karibu sana, hata ukitembea unafika tu hapa dakika chache.
Hakuna ward moja hivi ndani ya hii county in the next 6 months yenye haitakuwa na a level 3 facility yenye iko na mpaka maternity. Hapa tunaweka minor theater. Mambo ya hivi tu ndogo usiende Kiambu. Tuko pamoja. Mambo ya picha hizi za kupiga don't go to Kiambu. Hapa
Women in Tiati, Baringo County have been challenged to rise above stereotypes and invest in economic activities to improve their livelihoods. Businesswoman Geraldine Warugoro says women in the grassroots need to stamp their authority and upset century-old retrogressive beliefs that confine them to specific roles in society. Warugoro is encouraging women at the grassroots to invest in the cottage industry to get their fair share of the Kenyan dream.
There's a lot that needs to be done to educate the women, to empower the women, to show them that it is okay to be independent. Also make the men understand that it is okay for a woman to be independent, that it's okay for a woman, to bring home a meal whenever they can. For the women now, something simple like making such nice artifacts. If you can bring home, even if it's a meal a day, if you can bring home some money to take the children to school, then that would be lovely. And even as we try and do that, we are not trying to make them move away from their culture. We're just trying to assist them better their everyday life.
Tunashona shanga na hii shanga imetusaidia sisi kama wamama wa Pokot, kwa sababu kwa nyumbani mifugo si ya wakina mama, ni ya kina baba. Sasa sisi kama wanawake tumesaidika kwa shanga. Tuseme for example niasashona shanga niuze nipate kitu yenye watoto wangu watakula jioni, alafu hatutategemea mifugo sana, kwa sababu wakati wa ukame mifugo zinakufa.
Property of unknown value was destroyed after a fire razed Nyumba Tatu area in Laikipia University. Over 15 business premises and hostels were razed. Efforts to put off the fire were futile as the firefighters arrived late. The business community are appealing for help to rebuild as many of them had taken loans.
Hiyo moto ilianza hatu kujua venye imeanza. Si tumesukia tu moto tukiwa ndani na kutoka tukapata ni moto kubwa. So tukaanza kuchota maji na tukazima, but zima moto nayo imerespond na ikakuja na imetusaidia.
Tusaidia tu, naomba tu washuka ni mzee wetu Joshua Idogo ni gavana. Wakuja tusaidia hawa mama wasilie kama bila lia. Na Mungu atawashukuru Mungu tu wakuja.
Mwanafunzi wa Laikipia University. Nilikuwa nakaa nyumba iko hapa hivi kwa sababu siwezi afford nyumba ya expensive. Simu yangu imechomeka kama mnavyoona. Laptop yangu, manguo zangu zote.
Moto ilitokea kwa ghafla, lakini imeshoma kitu yote, hakuna kitu hata moja imeshukuliwa.
Wenye wote ambao wamekondi hizi nyumba wameshomekewa na kila kitu, maguo, chakula hawana. Kwa hivyo tunaomba serikali kuu, serikali ya kaunti na watu ambao wangetaka kusaidia hawa watu wakunje wawape msaada.
Ndiye mwenye hii plot. Kusema kweli hii plot nimejaga na tabu mingi sana. Hata mkiangalia hicho mnaweza ona nimejaga na tabu mingi. Kwa hivyo vile kitu ningesema tusaidie na hawa wanakuja saa ile wanataka kula. Anatukuta hapa kila siku tunaamkia pamoja na hawa. Mimi ile kitu ningesema haki watusaidie. Na wasaidia hata watoto. Watoto kwanza hawana kitu, hata vitabu, hata uniform yote imeisha.
And now we cross over to County Hall, where the Ad Hoc Committee on WorldCoin Inquiry is currently meeting the Interior and National Administration Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki. Let's listen in.
Opinions, because this is science. It is not black and white matter. It's science, it's scientific thing. So we rely on expert advice. On the one side, most of the science, the experts in this area are saying that actually data, even data in the cloud, can be retrieved and deleted. But there is a different opinion, again from experts in this space, saying even when it is deleted, there is a way that data, once it's in that space, cannot be completely and with certainty be retrieved. So from where we sit, that is the information I have at the moment. I want to be on the cautious side as the Security Minister of Kenya. I would rather side with the possibility that when data enters that space, it cannot be retrieved completely. Because that is what would put me on the safe side in terms of going forward. And this will inform the kind of regulations we put in place in terms of who we allow to harvest data, to have it, how they will store it, and where, in what circumstances. I want to side with the minority of the scientists who are saying that it is not possible to retrieve data which has been stored in the cloud. So from where we sit as government, there should be no more registration of people on anything related to WorldCoin and all activities and other companies.
Waziri, while still at that, you know, you're speaking as the CS, the Minister of Security, but you're still a lawyer par excellence. Within both the local and international laws framework, do you think we stand a chance of maybe forcing the WorldCoin owners to retrieve Kenya's data?
Yes. Yes. But we need to do a lot of work. And Gila Select Guard, based on the case I made earlier on, 2 points, Chair. One, that data is precious. And two, the nature in which the data in question was harvested is an extreme. It's allowed, yes, but for a foreign entity to use that method and have access to that data and store it in the method we are talking about, we need to be a bit more rigorous in terms of demanding some levels of accountability. But to answer your question, it is possible. The other question which has been raised is on cryptocurrency and financing of terror. And Chair, you raised the issue of the crypto dealer and the girlfriends. It was possible for the regulatory institutions of the country, in this case the Financial Reporting Center, to detect the money. But it was only possible when that money was converted, or because it's a way in which it found its way into mainstream financial assets of the world, and it left Belgium and came to Kenya into the bank account of the girlfriend. And the challenges are as follows. First, to money in terms of legal tender coming from abroad to a bank in Kenya can be traced, and that's why it was traced. And even the other two, it's only that they had accessed the money. And there could be reason perhaps why that happened, because again the purpose of surveillance on financial inflows and outflows is not to prevent people from running businesses and doing their things. It is to ensure that financial inflows and outflows through our country do not perpetuate money laundering, trade in drugs and psychotropic substances, and terror. Otherwise, it should not be the business. It's against good economic order to have too much surveillance on citizens and who gets how much money. And if that money is not perhaps suspected to be geared towards doing those criminal things, that surveillance should not be overbearing. It would hurt commerce. Now, we are very keen on inflows and outflows of finances to our country for the reasons which we all know. We have been attacked severally in this country, and those attacks could not have succeeded without a financial element somewhere. Differently put, Chair, the engine of terror, what drives terror is money. If you remove finances from terror, the terrorist has no power to achieve the objective. And therefore, my challenge, and I need to be convinced, because this is national debate. This is national debate. The reason we are here is because these are new frontiers. The legal framework is not adequate. There are no hard and fast issues. But I need to be convinced, as the security minister, I need to be convinced that if there are gray areas and we cannot pinpoint the owners of money and how they have made that money at that crypto trade level, until that money finds its way into the financial the formal financial structures, like the case which we have given of the person who sent actual money, not now crypto tokens or whatever. Actual money was sent to an account in Kenya. That's what we can trace. But these other crypto business and trade, the traceability is a problem. Then, at the risk of being accused of being at war with technology and commerce, I will be reluctant. I will be reluctant to say that that is an area we want to venture into, because the cost, the price of a successful terror attack can wipe away many years and decades of investments in our national security. Then, Chair, I've been asked about the security vetting of companies. And I want to say directly that, especially depending on the type of... All right, let me rephrase my response. At the moment, there is no requirement that foreign nationals who want to do business in Kenya or want to associate with businesses doing in Kenya must necessarily be vetted, although we do it. We sometimes do it when we have reason to believe. But there is no law, and also, as security agencies, we will not want to intrude into commerce unnecessarily and make it difficult for people to do business, because we are a country that has trade relations all over the world, and we're encouraging investments and business.
Well, that is Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki appearing before the ad hoc committee on WorldCoin inquiry. Well, we shall be keeping you updated in our subsequent bulletins. For now, we take a short break right here on Lunchtime News. We'll be back with more news.
There is no wealth without health, and it all begins here. And regular exercise. Your Health Show brings you an array of health information to keep you informed and healthy. Real people and real stories.
Kurasa wa wadi baada ya siku 2-3 nikapelekwa theater. Wakasema wametoa nyama upande wa nyuma, walipopima hiyo nyama walipata ni kansa.
Nasema wewe rafiki yangu sasa Komi, huo umri uliokuwa nao kama hivi unafanya na mama fumbo wewe. Uliyapata wapi wewe? Na mimi namwambia mimi mwenyewe pia mimi nashangaa.
Join me, Marie Yambo, from the laboratories to the theaters as we feature cutting-edge technology in healthcare diagnosis and treatment. Only on KBC Channel 1.
This week on What's in Your Kitchen, we taste taita kimanga, steamed rice and chicken adobo, courtesy of our guest cook, Dominic.
Chumvi, we don't put chumvi because there is this is our cooking stick.
Okay.
Now we use
I don't take all.
Just one piece.
Why? So you were cooking for me?
For the rest.
No, but you are cooking for me. You are not cooking for the rest. Ajana na the rest. Our
Live from Broadcasting House, Nairobi, Kenya. This is KBC English Service.
Welcome to Beat Time Show, the very best of the 80s and 90s. Me, John Korani, JK.
Timeless music hits across the decades.
This is the place to be after you've had a tough day. Here we celebrate love and life.
Don't believe me, just watch. The sound of KBC English Service.
I'm your host Caroline Wangishi, Karo Gatata Moshero.
My name is Geoffrey Mongai B. News, information, information and entertainment. KBC English Service, Kenya's official national radio.
Welcome back. This is Lunchtime News. 2 people are fighting for their lives in Tigoni Hospital after they were shot by suspected carjackers in Kimende Town, Kiambu County. One of the injured persons is a businessman who was allegedly hijacked along Langata Road in Nairobi County and driven to Kimende Town, where his abductors demanded he withdrew money for them from his bank account. The other individual is a resident who was shot after responding to distress calls from the carjacking victims. Other residents rushed to the aid of the 2 wounded men and conned one of them criminals before police saved him from mob justice. Larry Sub-County Police Commander Adamson Furaha said a Seska pistol and 2 spent cartridges were recovered from the scene.
Wananchi wakakuwa na interest kwenda kuangalia ni nini, lakini baadaye ikaonekana kwamba kumbe ni gari ilikuwa imekuwa hijacked huko Langata upande wa Nairobi, na walikuwa wanaitisha huyu mwenye gari milioni 2 ndio wamwachilie. So yule mwenye gari wakati alifika pale Kimende akajaribu kuresist, na ndio mmoja wa wale wakora akapiga risasi huyo mwenye gari kwa tumbo. Ndio hawa wakora wakatoka kwa hiyo gari wakitaka kutoroka, lakini wananchi wakajitokeza kwa wengi wakafukuza huyu mwenye bunduki na akapiga risasi moja tena ambayo ilipata mwananchi akipita. Yule mwenye alikuwa na bunduki bahati mbaya akauawa na wananchi. Halafu yule kijana mwingine pia akafukuzwa akapatikana akajeruhiwa vibaya sana.
Involvement of women in peace-building initiatives around areas that have been affected by perennial ethnic conflicts has been hailed as key to long-lasting peaceful coexistence. This is amid a notable reduction in cases of cattle rustling and other conflicts since the formation of the Women Peace Council earlier this year.
Speaking at Nolroy area of Olonyiro Ward in Isiolo County during an outreach program for women in the area, the chairperson of Isiolo Women Peace Council, Koresha Bile, said the realization that women play a key role in influencing decisions made by men, while at home has been a major breakthrough in the effort to curb cattle rustling and other ethnic conflicts.
Ili tuweze kujadiliana mambo ya amani, kwa sababu tumeona wakati mwingi hawa wamewachwa nyuma, wakati hata kufanya election wanawachwa nyuma, wakati ya kujumuika mambo ya amani wanaachwa nyuma. Ili tuliweza kuweka mpango, tuweze kuja mkutano, tuweze kujumuika na wamama, kuchange ideas, kujua shida zile ziko, na tuweze kuweka mpango ya kuweka njia za kuweka amani.
Isiolo Central Assistant County Commissioner James Masharia lauded the Women Peace Council initiative for complementing the efforts made by the national government to ensure that there is lasting peace among all communities.
Tuko na imani kwa sababu hawa mama ndio wenye wale walani na ndio wenye wale wasee. So wakishirikiana na wasee na wape nguvu, mama kwa boma anasikika.
Generica Aule, a mother of 3 who lost her husband 7 years ago after he was killed while attempting to recover stolen livestock, said that being widowed awakened her conscience and convinced her to take up a lead role in preaching peace.
Nilikuwa nikiomba Mungu venye nitapata, yani venye Mungu anaweza kutuunganisha kama hii makabila yenye walikuwa wanapigana. Tuzungumziane ya kwamba hii ni kitu mbaya yenye tunafanya. Hakuna maendeleo tunaweza pata, na itakuwa ni hasara tunapata kwa watoto ambao tunalea ama kwa wanaume.
Northern Regional Trust has trained 40 women in each county that has community conservancies under the umbrella of NRT and enroll them into the Women Peace Council.
Wamama ni watu muhimu sana kwa maneno ya usalama, kwa sababu tusipouzisha wamama ni kama hiyo amani haipatikani, kwa sababu amani inahitaji kuhusisha wamama, inahitaji vijana, inahitaji wazee.
The Women Peace Council initiative is a creation of the Northern Regional Trust and the Office of the County Commissioner. It aims at ensuring women engage in peace and development of their respective regions. Brandon Som, reporting for Lunchtime News.
And across borders, residents of the devastated Libyan city of Derna are desperately searching for missing relatives as rescue workers appealed for more body bags after a catastrophic flood that killed thousands of people and swept many out of sea. Swaths of the Mediterranean city were obliterated by a torrent of water unleashed by a powerful storm that swept down usually dry riverbed on Sunday night, bursting dams above the city. Multi-story buildings collapsed with sleeping families inside.
More than 5,000 people are known to have died because of floods in Libya, and at least 10,000 are missing. Streets were swept away in the torrents and bodies are being recovered from the sea. The two rival governments in Libya are coordinating relief efforts for flood victims. Rescue teams have arrived from several countries including Egypt, Tunisia, Italy, Spain and Turkey. The devastation is clear from high points above Derna, where the densely populated city center, built along a seasonal riverbed, was now a wide, flat crescent of earth with stretches of muddy water gleaming in the sun. Buildings were swept away. Meanwhile, the United Nations is warning that tens of thousands of people displaced in Libya are now at risk of exposure to waterborne diseases.
Let's talk business. Kenya is looking to collaborate with the Republic of Colombia in coffee growing, processing and marketing to position Kenya coffee globally. Now, speaking at a meeting with the Colombian Coffee Growers Federation in Chinchina, Colombia, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua said Kenya is undertaking reforms to reclaim its glory in the coffee trade.
Kenya has in recent months enjoyed increased coffee production, and in the financial year 2021-2022, production rose 50.24%, which was the highest in 2 decades. Coffee production rose from 34,512 tons in the 2020-2021 financial year to 51,853 tons in 2021-2022. The government believes production is not yet at its peak.
We produce very high quality coffee. Our farmers take nothing home. And what has happened is that 30 years ago, when our coffee was fetching good prices, we were producing 200,000 metric tons a year. But because of poor prices, the farmers got demoralized along the way, stopped taking good care of the coffee, the yield went down.
The South American country of Colombia currently produces about 754,000 metric tons of coffee annually, against Kenya's 51,000 metric tons, and is currently among the top 3 producers in the world.
We are here to seek your friendship, to seek your companionship, to seek your collaboration, to seek a next stage program of how the two countries that produce the best coffee in the world can work together. We are amazed by your success. You not only produce high quality coffee, but you market it right, get good prices, and your farmers are happy.
As part of the coffee revival strategies, the Kenyan government has identified gaps in the supply chain that it is addressing to, among others, ensure farmers earn more.
What happens after the sale of Kenyan coffee? The brokers smile all the way to the bank as the coffee farmers in Kenya cry all the way to their farms.
Gachagua is accompanied by a group of farmers from various counties of Kenya, keen to expand their knowledge on coffee planting, value addition, marketing, as well as impact skills being applied in Colombia directly to the farmer. Alan Auko, Lunchtime News.
The National Assembly has approved the nomination of lawyer Andrew Musangi as the chairperson of the Central Bank of Kenya. Legislators described Musangi as a man of integrity and urged him to firmly deal with rogue lenders if appointed to replace Mohamed Nyauge, who exited the position after expiration of his tenure in June this year.
And pursuant to Section 11.2A of the Central Bank of Kenya Act, Cap 491, and Section 8.1 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act of 2011, that this House approves the appointment of Mr. Andrew Mokite Musangi as the chairperson of the board of the Central Bank of Kenya.
He is an accomplished professional, a man whose integrity is unquestionable, and I want to encourage Andrew Musangi to continue working as the chairperson of the board of directors of the Central Bank without entertaining anything that
Mr. Speaker, it's time they also looked at the strength and the health of the various banking institutions in this country. They also need to get to look into the informal lending institutions in this country, the Shylocks, those informal lending institutions that are truly pulverizing our people.
Of money laundering, the issue of corruption. If we are going to stem and deal with corruption, central banks should be at the center of ensuring that we know how exactly money is being laundered in terms of movement in this country, Madam Speaker. The issue of oversight in AIA or appropriation in aid, Madam Speaker, must have central bank at the center of it. So I want to take this opportunity to also wish him all the best and support the report of the committee. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning and the Senate Standing Committee on Finance and Budget in its report on the vetting of the nominee for appointment as the chairperson of the Board of Directors of the Central Bank of Kenya, laid on the table of this House on Thursday, 14th, 2023, and pursuant to Section 11.2A of the Central Bank of Kenya, Cap 491, and Section 8.1 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act of 2011, this House approves the appointment of Mr. Andrew Mokite Musangi as the chairperson of the board of the Central Bank of Kenya.
Davis and Shatliff has received an integrated management system certification from the Kenya Bureau of Standards. The firm received the certification for upholding the highest standards of innovation and sustainability in its operations.
Integration of management systems is beneficial for organizations seeking to streamline their management processes, reduce costs, improve overall performance, and demonstrates commitment to quality, environmental responsibility, occupational health, and safety.
The new integrated management system is the integration of the three key standards, which is the ISO, the quality management system, ISO 9001, the environmental management system, ISO 14001, and the occupational health and safety management standard, ISO 45001.
The IMS certification integrates quality management, environmental management, and occupational health and safety management. The certification also covers an alignment with global concerns regarding climate change and sustainability, ensuring the safety of stakeholders through compliance with regulations and hazards prevention.
KBC is today proud to be associated with Davis and Shatliff, who have taken a bold step to entrench a culture of quality, environment protection, and safety and health of its workers in their systems and processes, and we are committed to support the company to uphold this standard.
Davis and Shatliff joins other organizations that have received IMS certification in Kenya, such as Coca-Cola Beverages Africa Kenya, EABL, Safaricom, Bidco Africa, and Isuzu East Africa. Edna Murungi for Lunchtime News.
Cooperative Bank of Kenya has been awarded by the SME Finance Forum the SME Financier of the Year in Africa Gold Award at the Global SME Finance Awards 2023. Organized by the International Finance Corporation, the Global SME Finance Awards 2023 recognized financial institutions and fintech companies for the outstanding achievements in delivering exceptional products and services to their SME clients.
Cooperative Bank of Kenya, which launched a myriad of financial solutions for micro, small and medium entrepreneurs, has seen its efforts recognized. The financial institution has been awarded by the SME Finance Forum the SME Financial of the Year in Africa Gold Award. Organized by the SME Finance Forum and endorsed by the G20's Global Partnership for Financial Inclusion, the Global SME Finance Awards capture the effective and successful practices of financiers, honoring the innovative products and services for SME clients. The Global SME Finance Awards provides an opportunity for institutions to showcase and share their good practices and knowledge and to learn from them. Commenting on the award, Cooperative Bank Group Managing Director Gideon Muruki said, in quotes, in collaboration with IFC and other partners, they have taken time to listen, study and build a most competitive value proposition for SMEs intended to support them realize the goals they have set for themselves. And we are very encouraged by the successful outcomes we continue to see in the marketplace. This award is for Kenyan SMEs too, end of quote. Launched in 2018, the Global SME Finance Awards capture the effective and successful practices of financiers, honoring the innovative products and services for SME clients that have achieved impressive results in expanding financing services to SMEs. Frederick Moki for Lunchtime News.
The government is moving to secure the cyberspace to align it with the digitization agenda that is opening massive opportunities, including online jobs for Kenyans. Western Kenya residents had the opportunity to share their opinions on the proposed computer misuse and cybercrimes draft regulations 2023 during the ongoing public participation.
Is positioning itself as a leader in the tech space within the East Africa region. So far, over 7,000 government services have been digitized, Wi-Fi hotspots being established and a digital superhighway being extended. Western Regional Police Commander Kiprono Langat emphasized that once in place, the regulations will assist law enforcement in combating cyber criminals and ensuring justice for victims.
These regulations are going to be handy in our investigations to ensure that the criminals who are assaulting our citizens on the cyberspace get justice. In the past, we have not been able to serve our citizens as they complained to us because we didn't have proper regulations, and they ended up going back home dejected. However, going forward from today, we are going to ensure that when the regulations come into force, we are going to work on their cases and ensure that they get the justice they are seeking.
Dr. David Njoga, the head of Cybersecurity Policy and Standards at the National Computer and Cybercrimes Committee, discussed the digital ecosystem. As Kenya advances as a digital economy, securing the digital space becomes crucial to support its social economic agenda.
We believe that this initiative or these regulations are handy, coming at a time when the country is aggressively becoming a digital economy, regionally and globally, and therefore we need to secure our cyberspace so that we can support our socio-economic agenda.
Argentina's annual inflation rate has risen to 124.4% in August 2023, which is the highest level since 1991, stoking a painful cost of living crisis in the South American country. The soaring prices, which rose more than expected, are forcing hard-hit shoppers to run a daily gauntlet to find deals and cheaper options, as prices hike leave big differences from one shop to the next, with scattered discounts to lower shoppers. Now here are the details of these and other stories making headlines globally.
Annual inflation rate of 124.4% in Argentina is pushing poverty levels past 40%, and stoking anger at the traditional political elite ahead of next month's elections. Argentina is caught in a cycle of economic crisis, with a major loss of confidence in the peso driving steady depreciation, triple-digit inflation, negative central bank reserves, and a flagging economy due to drought-hitting famine. Argentina is also battling to salvage a $44 billion deal with International Monetary Fund and facing the prospect of a $16 billion legal bill after the U.S. court ruling related to the state takeover of energy firm YPF a decade ago. Elsewhere, most global coffee farms will not be ready to comply with the European Union's new law preventing imports of commodities linked to deforestation, and small farmers may suffer as a consequence. The EU's landmark law, which comes into effect at the end of 2024, requires importers of commodities like coffee, cocoa, beef, soy, rubber and palm oil to produce a due diligence statement proving their goods are not contributing to the destruction of forests, a major source of climate change, or risk hefty fines. According to the biannual coffee barometer prepared by a group of NGOs, coffee farms' lack of preparedness for the law might prompt them to shift sourcing to more developed regions like Brazil that have better traceability, leaving millions of mostly small-scale poverty-stricken farmers in the lurch. Finally, Japan's coal machinery orders fell more than expected in July as manufacturers back at new investments in the face of sluggish global growth and the weakness in major market China, pointing to a difficult period ahead for the world's third largest economy. Data from the Cabinet Office has raised the challenge for Japanese policymakers confronting soft demand overseas and at home. Coal orders, the leading indicator of Japanese business spending, were down 1.1% in July from the previous month. This decline was bigger than the 0.9% drop expected by economists and followed a 2.7% gain in June.
And now in the sports arena, Principal Secretary for Sports and Culture, Peter Tom, has affirmed the government's commitment to complete all stalled stadia for sports and development and hosting of continental matches by the end of the financial year. Tom added that the Kenya Kwanza administration plan, as espoused in the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, is keen to monetize talents and the creative industry.
The State Department of Sports and Culture on Thursday met with the National Assembly Departmental Committee chaired by the Webuye West MP Daniel Wanyama in Mombasa to discuss the fate of stalled stadia and the Ministry of Sports programs. Speaking after the meeting, Sports PS Peter Tum put on notice that anyone who may have misappropriated funds or government properties, that government institutions are on their neck.
We have just concluded at the regional level the football competitions that began during the holidays of August. And in December, we will be playing the qualifiers, and then after that, we will then have identified talents within that space that then can be scouted.
Tum also stated that they are satisfied with the elaborate answers on the status of stalled stadia and the Talanta Hela initiative poised to change the narrative of the sport.
You know, it is not the responsibility of government to come into payment of contractual agreements that it is not part and parcel of. But it is the responsibility of government to assist federations to be able to stand on their feet.
Parliamentary Sports Chairman and Webuye West MP Dan Wanyama said all stadia whose construction stalled since 2016 will be completed in this financial year.
Mombasa Stadium is a stadium of the county government, and if they want some assistance, which the ministry has committed to come in and help, it is going to be done.
For Lunchtime News, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
The Kenya women's national team, Harambee Starlets, has reached the 5th day of their residential training in preparation for the upcoming two-legged 2024 Women Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers against Cameroon. Starlets is scheduled to depart for Cameroon on Tuesday next week in preparation for their first leg match, which is set to be played on September 22nd in Douala.
As part of the Kenyan ongoing preparations, the team played against Kenya Police Bullets yesterday and secured a 1-0 victory at Kasarani Annex. Head coach Beldin Odemba expressed her optimism, stating that the camp is progressing well as they are waiting for the arrival of international players like Mwanahalima Dogo, Gentrix Shikangwa, Hesi Akida, among others. Currently, 23 players have reported to camp, with the international players expected to start joining the squad on Sunday. Harambee Stars is scheduled to depart for Cameroon on Tuesday next week in preparation for their first leg match, which is set to be played on September 22 in Douala. The team will return home on September 24 in time for the second leg match on September 26. As part of
the final Kenyan qualifier leg of the 2023 NCBA Golf Series is set to be hosted this Saturday at Sigona Golf Club. Over 200 golfers are expected to tee it up at the pristine Par 72 golf course, aiming to book a spot in the series grand finale, which is set for December at the same venue.
The series, which teed off in March this year, will see the overall winner, men's category winner and runners-up, ladies category winner and runners-up, and the junior category winner at each of the qualifying events play at the grand finale, where the top prize will be 100,000 Kenya shillings cash award to each of the top 3 winners. So far, the event has been held across 13 golf clubs across the country, attracting participation of over 2,300 golfers, with 78 players qualifying to play in the grand finale. Sigona Golf Club captain Jimmy Kibugi expressed confidence of a successful event, noting that the excellent course conditions and a great turnout expected. After this weekend's meet, the series moves to the Gymkhana Golf Club in Tanzania later this month, and then the Kigali Golf Resort in mid-October, before heading to the Entebbe Golf Club at the end of October for the last qualifying events on the calendar. Over 200 golfers are expected to tee it up at the Sigona Golf Club, aiming to book a spot in the series grand finale, which is set in December at the same Sigona Golf Club venue. For Lunchtime News, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
Well, that report brings us to a bulletin coming to a halt this afternoon. Well, for more news, check out our website at kbc.co.ke. My name is Jackie Wambiru. Sign language interpreter is Brian Muraru. Have a lovely afternoon.